I'm Mark Ainley from Sense of Space Contemporary Feng Shui. Welcome to another episode in which we're going to discuss how to make changes in your home to enhance your life and life experience. Today I'm going to talk about a very common symbol and concept in Chinese philosophy and culture, and that's the Yin-Yang. Now this image, this symbol, is very well known the world over, but in fact it's been seen so often that I think a lot of people really miss the true depth of what it represents. What it speaks to is the fact that opposites are a matter of nature. They're a matter of course. Our world is filled and built on opposition, and yet these can live together harmoniously. And I think this is a mindset that we really need to adopt in our culture right now, because some of what we're seeing play out politically and socially in the larger picture, in the context of our society, is that people have a very hard time when people don't agree with them and when things are different, including just when things are different in your life experience from what you would like. Now, the reason I'm going to talk a little bit about this philosophy is because there are also things that you can do in the home to balance elements of the design in your space with yin and yang qualities. And what that can do is it can help to bring some balance and help you embrace both sides so that opposites don't have to be enemies. They can coexist harmoniously. Now, when you look at this picture, you can see what most people will say, a light side and a dark side. But the reality is, neither side is exclusively light or dark. On the white side, there's actually a dark circle inside it. In the dark side, there's a light circle. And what this speaks to is the fact that things are always changing. And if you imagine that little circle inside enveloping the whole area that it's occupying, the light becomes the dark becomes the light. And this is something that happens in nature, and it happens all the time. Daytime turns into nighttime, nighttime turns into daytime. And certain conditions in our lives follow the same flow. Things are what we might describe as good, and then they become what we might describe as bad. And they can go back and forth. With a mindset that welcomes both, that understands that both are absolutely necessary, even if the experience in the moment isn't particularly enjoyable, we can always learn and benefit from whatever is happening in our lives. There's a famous Chinese story that talks about this, in which a farmer's horse runs away and the neighbor comes by and says, "Oh dear, that's too bad." And the farmer says, "How do you know?" And the next day the horse comes back bringing several wild horses with it. So the neighbor comes by and says, "Wow, that's great." And the farmer says, "How do you know?" The next day the farmer's son is trying to train one of the wild horses and falls and breaks his leg. So what do you think the neighbor says when he comes by? "Oh dear, that's too bad." Farmer once again says, "How do you know?" The next day, a war is declared and all the young men must go off into battle, and many of them will never return because they were killed. But that farmer's son could not go because he had broken his leg. So what happened to him? Was it really good? Was it really bad? We don't really know until things play out. And so if we constantly oscillate too much between these two extremes, even though it sounds like that's what the story is, we're going to be in a tug of war all the time. And yet, what enhancing yin and yang qualities in our home in a harmonious way will do is they help you live along that middle path. They help you embrace the fact that as things change into what we can often describe as good or bad, they're actually just balanced. They're just evolving. Night isn't better than day. Day isn't better than night. They both are. They're both supportive in their own way. Similarly, dark colors can really be wonderful to enhance your space with, just like light colors. Hard materials are very beneficial. You want to have a hard dining table or a hard desk on which to write, but probably have a softer bed or a softer sofa. It depends on what you're using and how. Same with linear forms or curved forms. If things are too curved throughout the space, we lose a sense of horizon. With too many straight lines, things feel hard and we can feel on edge and antagonistic. When we have both of these qualities harmoniously balanced in a space, as appropriate for the room, as appropriate for the space, we can start to embrace a balanced mindset that helps us navigate through life with more adaptability and flexibility. Now, one of the things we're seeing in a lot of design schemes in magazines is an emphasis on uniformity. So we see a lot of designs where things are very white and very clean. But because of the nature of yin and yang in the world, in our lives, we're almost looking for something that throws that white, that clean palette off balance. So in a sense, it puts our mindset into fault finding. So even though it seems very clean, that clean is based on almost avoiding what might be dirty. And it actually creates anxiety because we're not able to welcome the full range of experience. Now, I'm not saying that your home should be dirty as a result. What I'm saying is that having a blend of lights and darks, warm and cool colors, hard materials and soft materials, linear forms and curved forms, is really going to help to enhance your space. So not to go to too many extremes in any given area or in any room. Because your home reflects your mindset, balancing yin and yang polarities helps you be open to whatever is going to happen in your life. Yin and yang experience, positive, negative, good, bad, as people define them, are inevitable. But when you can embrace that yin-yang mindset, you can have more of a state of non-duality. You can welcome that neutrality that helps you navigate between those two polarities with consistency of presence, so that you don't have to be pulled off course because things have varied. You've already welcomed that into your home and therefore into your mindset. So my suggestion is to look at your space and just notice if things are too uniform. Is there something you can do to aesthetically change it? If you have a color scheme that's excessively light, can you throw something dark in there or a warm color to balance the cool colors? If all of your books are super ordered on the bookshelf, can you maybe make a little stack that's horizontal instead of vertical? Doing something like this seems like it's minor, but it's actually really significant in harmoniously welcoming opposition. And just imagine how boring your life would be if everybody agreed with you. What would you talk about? You know, the more stimulating conversations and experiences in our lives come from differences and things that are unexpected. And so having that yin-yang balance in your home helps you welcome the unexpected and differences and to be able to live harmoniously with them. I'm Mark Ainley from Sense of Space Contemporary Feng Shui. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for another episode. In the meantime, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and we'll see you again next time.